Today I'm going to talk about which is the best Linux distribution. So I have tried many different Linux distributions, such as Ubuntu and Debian and Manjaro, Arch Linux, and I find as a group of distros called Puppet Linux is the best and fast for me. I am using the Fossa Pup 64 CE4 ISO, which is a recent version of Fossa Pup 64, and this is what it looks like. And as a group, Puppet Linux, the reason that it is very fast because it loads into the memory, RAM memory, and this is by far the fastest way of using the computer. So there is a CPU processor, obviously, that you cannot access to store things. So the RAM is RAM. So the traditional hard drive and even SSD, and I have NVMe drive, but that's still not as fast as RAM, using the RAM. So using the RAM, however, you would think that you would need lots because everything gets loaded up in the memory when you start Puppet Linux. But in fact, you can run a Puppet Linux very adequately with you can view YouTube and do any general as 2 gig, and in some distributions, in many distributions, in fact, you can run it in 1 gig. But obviously, more the better. But you can. So basically, everything gets loaded up in the RAM. So even if you have no hard drive, you only have a CD, you can burn the Puppet Linux in CD and you can use it. And it'll be as quick as what you see here, pretty much, because it'll be using the RAM. So right now we can just go ahead and make this disappear. Oh, oops. I made a mistake. Let me just make it this so this just be very quick. So even if I started the Puppet Linux just with CD with no hard drive, it'll be as fast as what I just shown you, because everything is running on RAM. Now it does have a backup feature. It's called a save a folder in more recent Puppet Linux, and it's called a save file in little older distributions. So that is, now if you don't have a hard drive, this save folder, for example, it has to be on an SD card, the CD, for example, and that may cause some difficulty in writing onto the CD. But however, you can do pretty much the same with the SD card, as long as you have a SD card adapter into the USB. So in this case, you can obviously save the save folder in the SD card itself. And although the starting the Puppet Linux will be somewhat slow, because save folder also has to be read, and however, once you get started and loads into the Puppet Linux into the computer, it'll just be using RAM, and you'll be very quick. You'll be surprisingly quick. However, when you log off and saves the save folder into SD card, for example, it may be very slow, and it may take a while because it has to put all that save folder information into the SD card. How to create a CD, a bootable CD from Puppet Linux. Here's one. Make bootable CD. I know this is kind of small lettering and so on, but I'll go ahead and put under description, give you a detailed information, so we can, if you want, you can go ahead and look at it. So, and this is the bootable CD, and this is how you can create SD card, bootable SD card, as long as you have a USB SD card adapter. So now the other major reason that I like Puppy Linux distributions are that you're running the Puppy as a root. So in essence, there's no password for root, and no sudo. So you don't need to type in, for example, to download an application. So you don't need to. So only one instance that I know of when you install Easy OS, a variant of Puppy Linux, it may ask for a password for the root, and it's woof woof. So across the board on all Puppy Linux, if you encounter a rare instance of Puppy asking for password, just type in woof woof. So what that means is that without the sudo, and you have you operating as a root, what that means is you can actually open external drive files without any sudo and without any manipulation. So we can, for example, I'm running F86 CE4, which is this ISO. So we can just click on it, and it's gonna. Do you want to mount image? You want to be able to take a look at inside of the ISO. So we want to say yes. And here is the actual ISO. So I can go ahead and look at all these SFS files, for example, and almost always is the one that starts with Puppy is the one that you want to take a look. And we can go ahead and view contents, and then it has the, for example, we can take a look at the root folder. So it has all these files and folders. That's the exact replica of making a mistake of, for example, deleting a .local file or folder. Then you can simply, all you have to do is just drag it across and then copy it over, or just copy it. So I won't do that, so here's a copy. But so in essence, there's always a pristine copy available, just simply with the ISO, if you have it on your hard drive, for example. So save folder, the CE4, that it actually saves the folder in a save folder. In my case here, in this partition under save folder. So here's the folder itself. So when I just click on it, I can just open it again because I'm purely root. And then I can just go ahead and take a look at again my root here, and let me just open up here. So this is actually pretty much exactly same as this. So you can go ahead and let's see what happens if I just create a a small file. See. So I'm just gonna create it in this folder here. Okay, so we'll just do that, and then you can see that on the save folder it saves it instantly. So that means That means, so we're gonna just go ahead and that means that if you make a habit or automate the process of having this copy of this save folder in another partition, for example, I'll just go ahead and make this as, so I have a different partition on the hard drive. So if I just go ahead and drag this over and make a copy, and then for some reason I've made a big mistake of let's say big mistake of important folder, deleting an important folder, you can always you're still making a copy, but you can always go back to the save backup folder and restore it instantly. So